Welcome to the Keeping It Real show with your hosts, the man of trail, Tim Kamara, and the man behind the wheel at Keeping It Real, Brad Jewett. Hey, everybody, live from Las Vegas, Nevada at the Silver Dollar Circuit. We've got the Mask of Trail, Tim Kamara. Oh, sorry, the Man of Trail, Tim Kamara, and his flashing pink glasses, and Brad Jewett. Thank you so much for joining us. I think I already said that, but we got a crazy big show tonight. Everybody, how many we got on? Let's everybody that is on right now. Welcome back to live, by the way, because I know we've had some premiere shows that have come up because, Tim, how many miles have we traveled in the last? Yeah, exactly.
Right. How many
since Christmas?
How many senior trail horses have I seen?
Oh my gosh!
All right, wow, this would be round 7.
So we've been in Tampa, Venice. I went back home. Tim flew straight from Venice to Vegas. I came from home to Vegas.
Trail again tomorrow.
Whew. Wow. So. Couple 2,000-4,000 miles later, here we are. It's the amazing Silver Dollar Circuit. Jana's done a great job. We're going to have her later on in the week. What is today? Thursday. So maybe next week we will have Jan come in here and just kind of let us know what's going on with Silver Dollar Circuit and how the show's going.
Can I tell you one thing?
Yes.
Two things, I guess.
Yes.
3 things, and I'll get dug on.
Okay.
One, this is where we met Kona.
Yeah.
It's like our anniversary.
Yeah, and I got to give props to my wife,
right,
for introducing us to the Kona Meister.
Yeah, it's super neat
that. Oh yes,
right.
Lindsay. So again, I'm going to stress everybody. Click on the bottom of the chat. It says share it now, because we have the Mr. Doug Hulse is going to be coming on here in a very short minute to talk to us about the 2021 Sun Circuit. And we were talking a little bit before the show, and 50,000 in the pleasure, people. So if you know anybody that's in the pleasure that comes to the Sun Circuit, or would want a chance to win that money, make sure you share this, get them on. Let's get a bunch of people on here. It's growing every second. So let's keep sharing it until we get everybody to be able to hear, not just be able to read, but to be able to hear all the explanations that's going to go into these prizes, a lot of cash and a lot of great prizes, including Western Hauler trucks. Did we hear that, Tim?
I know.
Western Hauler
they called us.
Is giving trucks away. And yes, they're going to be coming on as a new Keeping It Real sponsor. They just called today and want to come on as Keeping It Real. They love the show. They love all the stories that we're doing. So we're excited to bring them on here. Probably February 1st is what I'm kind of thinking, somewhere around there. But anyway, we're excited to have them on. But they're going to be giving trucks away at the Sun Circuit. So share it. I'm going to say it one more time before we bring Doug in. Share it. So welcome back to live. Okay. Tim, is there anything before we bring Doug in?
Quick ones.
Yes.
One, I haven't seen Tina Vollmer since Christmas, so I miss you and the dogs for sure, okay? But alongside of that, one more is one of our sponsors, Leslie Hellman, right?
Yes.
Like, I have to say.
You haven't seen him since.
No, I did this morning.
I know, but since World Show. Yeah.
But like my ankles and my knee, like he woke them up today. Like he woke them up, and like, wow, I was texting him saying, wow, they feel pretty darn good,
For sure. Tim had a little spring in his step today.
Yeah, better than having the gout, right?
That's just that word, man.
I know.
When you say I got the gout, I'm like, that just makes me
third
crazy.
one, before, and then we can go for sure. Great interview with Gary. You guys did a great job with Casey the other day. I apologize I couldn't get on because I was doing the trail.
It happens.
Dixie National's coming up too. And Casey, you did a great job with that. So appreciate you guys doing that one without me. Go ahead.
Casey was a great interview.
Yeah,
he was fun to do, and passionate about Dixie Nationals, right? It's kind of been a big deal. So here we go. Let's go. Bring Mr. Sun Circuit in. Doug Hulse.
Come on in, Douglas.
Come on, man. Come on. Oh, he put his sombrero on. How about that?
Hello.
trying to show us.
Good evening.
Good evening, Doug.
But it's funny because we're 5 o'clock over here.
I know.
We're so used to 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
And, wow, it's good afternoon, good evening. Doug, thanks for coming in again.
Yes.
Tonight.
Thank you guys for having me. This is awesome.
Hey,
I love it when we get to come on here.
I was excited when you called and said that you wanted to do this. That got me pumped because I'm like, when Doug Hulls is calling to say I've got a lot of stuff to share, he's got a lot of stuff to share, right? This wasn't us prying anything out of Doug. He's like, we got to get the word out. So we thank you for believing in the show and knowing the reach that it has for us to be able to get this out. So, Doug, without further ado, get us started with where you want to head tonight.
Well, you gave a little teaser on what we're going to talk about a little later with the $50,000 in the truck. Let's talk about something I know you're pretty passionate about, Brad. Horsemanship.
Amen. Yes.
We just added 5 saddles to the horsemanship.
Boom.
The amateur, the level 1 amateur, the level 1 select, and the level 1 youth are all going to win a saddle for the circuit champions here. That's additional to the national championship deal that you all know about. We're going to talk about a little bit later, and hopefully maybe be on next week or so, and we can talk some more about that when the rankings come out. But right now, we just added those 5 saddles. Horsemanship is some of our biggest classes at Sun Circuit. They're extremely competitive. But we threw a little more at it, guys. We went across the board. I don't know if you want to talk about that a little bit first.
Let me I want to jump in for a second.
Go for it.
When your show gets bigger and better, and you give away more saddles. Okay.
$100 to get in the jackpot. Okay. Going to pay back 100% of that $100. Everybody that wants to get in, there's 5,000 added to it. So the 1D is going to be the top 3 highest scoring horses are going to get paid on that. That's going to split up 2,500 plus whatever in the jackpot. And then in the 2D, we're going to drop down. It's a 3-judge day. This will happen on Thursday the 4th. 1 day of 2D junior trail, 5,000 in the class. But then it's a 3-judge day, so we're going to drop down 21 points. And I'm thinking if that winner's marking a 78, 79 in that range, that second D is going to pay around the 71, 72 mark, and we'll pay 3 places there again, 2,500 plus half of whatever the jackpot fees are.
Wow.
Doing several 2D classes. The senior trail on Friday, March 5th, it's going to have 2,000 added in it. The amateur and the select trail, and those are both on Thursday the 4th, are going to have $1,000 added. It's those classes are $50 to get in the jackpot. Anything with $1,000 added to the 2D is going to be $50 to get in.
That's
Anything over 1,000 will be $100 to get in. Those could be some pretty substantial purses.
Yeah.
And you're not going to have to be the winner.
That's awesome.
Almost the money. So.
Doug, hold on one second. Tim wanted to jump in here.
When you were talking about the saddles, like in the horsemanship and stuff, I know your shows get bigger and better, more saddles. I'm thinking to myself, when you're winning a saddle for some reason, that's so memorable to you. Like when I won my first saddle in 1976, which was 46 years ago, it was my favorite saddle. But I mean, you give away so many saddles, but yet it means a lot to like a novice amateur that wins their first saddle at the Sun Circuit, or you remember those times. They're memorable throughout your whole life.
Yep.
So I props to you guys for doing that, I think.
No doubt. My kid wants to win the 14 to 18. Yeah. She won the 13 and under saddle a couple of years ago, and she's like, okay, I'm not 13 and under anymore. I want to win the 14 to 18 saddle. So it was cool to be able to win that. But so, yes, there's always been a prestige ever since I've been going about the saddles for sure.
Super cool.
I want to explain, because the 2D deal is a little bit of a new philosophy for some people. If you do the barrel racing and roping and things like that, you understand how the tiers work a little bit more. And we get it from the level 2, level 3 and all that kind of deal, but that's different than what the 1D, 2D payout. So explain a little bit more in detail without going on too long, but explain a little bit more detail on how that 2D trail is going to work.
Well, I think you made a good point there, Brad. The level 2, level 3, And that's not going to make a difference. You can be a level 2 rider or a level 3 rider and get in on the 2D action.
Okay.
Okay. Because when we scribe that class and score that class, when it goes into the computer, all those horses go in as one class.
Gotcha.
So whether you're level 2 or level 3, it doesn't matter. You can get in the jackpot.
Awesome.
All right. So I'll say it again. The top 3, let's say the top horse marks 380. So he's got a 240. Okay.
Okay.
So we're going to take that top horse and take the next 2 places, and that we're going to split that $2,500 and 50% of the jackpot fees paid, and pay it out to those 3 horses.
Wow.
There. Okay.
Awesome.
If there's any ties, then we'll split that pot amongst those ties.
Okay.
Then we'll drop down. So let's say we started with a 240. We're going to drop down 21 points. All right. So then that's going to make it a 219. We're going to start a payout there again.
So that's around a 72, 73, 73.
Right in that range,
Yep.
You know, that winning horse, I look back there, is going to mark anywhere from a 78 to 80.
Right.
So we really wanted that 2D level to fall around that 72, 71 mark. Okay?
Gotcha.
And there, it's just a matter of luck whether you fall in there, but it can be a nice little purse.
You bet.
Could be some good money and in a matter of luck, and you don't have to be the winner to go home with all the money. So that's a 2D concept, and you guys know, how tough it is at Sun Circuit. It's hard to get something
right.
It's tough to get in the points here. You got to mark some incredible scores sometimes. So we're really trying to reward everybody. Have a little fun. It'll be kind of fun. It'll be a moving target.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Where that B's going to fall, And you might be on the winning horse and hit a pole or two and fall in there and get money. Or, Brad, if you win it and you have a 72 run on another horse,
right?
There's nothing that says you can go home with 2 money.
True, very true.
There's a lot of guys that can go home with 2 monies this way.
So how many spots get paid in the 2D?
We're going to pay 3 for the 1D and 3 for the 2D.
Okay. Cool.
There should be some pretty good cash in there.
Plus ties.
Yeah. Plus ties.
That's great.
We'll split the money up if there's any ties. So that'll spread it around, especially when you get around that 72, 71. Oftentimes there's some ties there, but everybody on that bracket will split that money there then.
So I feel like that was very well explained to you.
Yep.
I mean, if that's something my brain can wrap around, then for sure other people should be able to. But okay.
Does he have something like a sheet that explains how that works?
Yeah, because the books already went out.
There's a write up on it on suncircuit.com.
There
you guys.
Yep.
And then also when you entries are due on the 27th, but if you enter on the tracker there's a jackpot class. You can get in it right now. You can get in it all the way up until 5 p.m. the day before the class. You can add or scratch it until then. And then at that point, we're going to close it off. No add, no scratch, and whatever money's in there.
That's great.
We're paying 100% of that money back to you guys. So.
Excellent. Hi, Splendor, by the way. Yes, it was good to see you today in the trail pen as well. So while we're on the trail classes section, however you want to call it, tell us a little bit more about some of the other trail classes that you're going to be offering.
All right, we got our regular AQHA classes, and then there is no Riders Cup this year. So on Wednesday, March 3rd, we replaced that. And I think first thing in the morning, I believe we started out with a $3,000 added 4 and over NSBA maiden trail. That horse cannot have shown in trail anywhere. Never, no matter if it's an open show or anything like that, cannot have shown. That's a 4 and over with $3,000 added in that. I believe it's followed up immediately by a $2,500 added 4 and 5-year-old trail fraternity. That's going to be an NSBA event again. These are all on March 3rd. I think we might have maybe the Western Riding or some set of classes running for AQHA, but that'll be a pretty light day, primarily doing fraternities. So that's the big stuff that we're offering in the trail events. And then on that Wednesday, I'll move into it a little bit. We are going to have kind of a full set of fraternity classes for the pleasure, hunt, seat, Western Ride. And the big news there is we added a $5,000 added novice horse, hunter under saddle.
Nice.
That horse cannot have won more than $2,500. And there'll be $1,000 added limited class that's running along with that. All right.
Sweet.
Go on suncircuit.com. You can see some of that, but we really bumped it up. That class we just announced last week. It has been added to the website. It wasn't on our original slate of classes, but I met with our committee last week. We're really, really, really stoked and excited about Sun Circuit this year. We're expecting a huge turnout, and we just decided we were going to pour a bunch more into it. So also on that day, we'll have $1,000 added 3 and 4 year old open hunter under saddle fraternity. Let's see, I think there's a non-pro hunter under saddle fraternity that has $500 added, but there's also a West Coast Breeders Fraternity program. I might encourage you guys to look at that online, and they're adding $2,500 to that. So if you happen to have a horse bred by one of their stallions in the West Coast Breeders Fraternity in that 3 and 4 year old non-pro class, there's going to be $2,500 added in that.
Dang.
So I encourage you to reach out. I do not have a list of the stallions, but there is some online. And that $2,500 is for the hunter in the saddle and the non-pro. And then also in the 3 and 4 year old non-pro Western Pleasure, again, the West Coast Breeders has got $2,500. They're adding to that. And then Sun Circuit's got $1,200 in the 3 and 4 year old non-pro Pleasure and $800 in the 3 and 4 year old intermediate non-pro. And we got to thank Charles and Angie for sponsoring that, and Aaron Moses for doing the novice. Well, I haven't talked about the novice horse classes yet. Gil and Aaron sponsored those. And we beefed that money up last week. There's a 3 year old novice horse pleasure with $5,000 added to it. And there's a 4 and over novice horse pleasure with $5,000 added to it. Those classes, they're also running on Wednesday, the 3rd. $2,500 novice horse. So if your horse is eligible for the green, it'll be eligible for that. Those 2 classes, again, a 3 year old. And we kind of thought about that because not a lot of horses got to show this past year.
For sure.
So money was a little tough to earn, things like that. So, we beefed up those classes last week too. So we're really, really excited about that. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited to do the maiden trail. That's the first time we've taken a stab at that. So.
Unbelievable.
So,
I mean, I don't have a maiden trail horse right now. Dang it.
what I was thinking, just as I'm listening to him, back in March, I'm going to go back to the beginning of our show. We just were interviewing and look at what the platform has done. I mean, if it's Silver Dollar, if it's Dixie, it's now Arizona.
Yeah.
Sun Circuit. That these horse shows that we have a listening crowd. People listen to it. We give the information out. Here's a platform for Doug to come out here and explain his show. Jan come explain her show. Dixie does their show. I mean, it's nice. I mean, it's us getting back to the community again. But I mean, just how information gets out to people right now that we can let Doug come out here and explain. I mean, people wouldn't know, right? I mean, I don't think they're gonna really go digging into it unless they hear about it. And now they're gonna go look at your website and try to figure out how it works.
Yeah, I mean, you can take this video and share it on the website. Well, obviously everybody will share it from here, but you can get it. Like I am a learner when I hear things.
Right.
Like I read it and I got to read it 4 or 5 times sometimes to get it. But then, and I usually end up calling Doug anyway. So how does this work anyway? But so it's really good that we can. This is going to be a show that they can just reference and go straight to the
especially the new classes, right? All these new classes and new ideas that they're bringing. Yeah. If you just thought Sun Circuit again, it's not. Every year it's different. Yeah. Every year there's new classes.
Very true.
Same thing with the Fall Classic, the Fall Show too. Every time there's new things going on, and we're allowed to bring it to the people. And
I really appreciate your initiative, Doug, on trying to find ways. We all know who the great horses are, and they're going to get rewarded as well. But it's trying to find some of those, new avenues for those novice horses, for those maiden horses, especially the 2s last year that maybe they were late developing and they didn't get to show anyway. And so now you're going to have the 3-year-old out there with a little bit extra money in there too. So,
Super cool.
not a stone unturned so far from what I've heard through the horsemanship and the trails and all that kind of stuff. So
Props to you.
let's move wherever you want to go next, Doug. I won't take any of your thunder away here. However you want to lead us next, let's keep rolling.
I'll touch on what we added last week again, Brad. And this the Ranch Riders. I'm sure you got a few guys competing in that watch this show.
Yeah.
We put $1,000 across the board in each of those classes, and those are all 2D. And we had already put in a Farnham sponsored $5,000 ever level 1 stakes class, which is going to be the high point of the level 1 Ranch Rider, Ranch Rail, and Ranch Trail.
Nice.
And in order to be eligible for the Ranch Rail and the Ranch Trail, because those won't be AQHA classes, they don't have level 1 in that. You just have to be a level 1 ranch riding horse. And that's got 5,000 in it. But then we did 2D in each of the junior,
Nice.
senior, level 1, select, and the amateur. Again, just did the 2D, spread that money around,
What another great class. I mean,
get in those jackpots, and it should be pretty good payouts.
I'm sure you probably did. I don't know if you've done your judges test yet or not, but I mean, just reminded me of, because that's what our judges test is on this year, but I hope I can say that. Anyway, it just reminded me of what a huge turnout it was at the World Show.
Right.
for the ranch classes.
For the Ranch Rail class.
For the Ranch Rail, the Ranch Trail,
Right.
every ranch class that they had there was huge. So great.
And then Arizona is very strong in those classes too. So what opportunity for those guys over there.
Yes, Bobby Smith.
Hi, Bobby Smith.
Great sponsor for the Sun Circuit right there.
Sponsor.
And there'll be lots of Rod Patrick boots given away.
There you go.
And the prize patrol, but we've got them all the way through our High Point Awards. So Mr. Rod Patrick, Mr. Bobby Smith, they'll be out there. That's for
There
sure.
you go.
Yeah, you can win a lot of Rod Patrick ostrich boots at this horse show.
I won a pair there one year. I remember, and it paid off. I'm not gonna lie, because once I put them on, I'm like, okay, those are my boots for the rest of my life, right there.
For sure.
Yeah, those are good. We did the ranch riding. We got $2,000 across the board in 2D reining, and I thought that'd be fun there. Just there's not a lot of big money. This isn't a big money reining, but there is huge reining classes there. So cow horses, we bumped all the money up in our bridal spectaculars, is where they got to cut and go down the fence. It's the high point there for each of those classes. We bumped money all up to $3,500. That was all done last week on top of everything else we had going. If you hadn't seen some of the offerings in the premium magazine on suncircuit.com, Equine Chronicle has a lot of information on the show too. Jump on there and see.
Excellent.
But if you haven't seen, we had really spruced up the show a bunch from last year even. We've had some great sponsors come in and support this deal, and we just keep adding more to it, and it's because of our sponsors. We're so grateful to them.
Awesome.
That's for sure.
Awesome.
But like I said, if you haven't been on suncircuit.com, get on there. All this stuff has been added on there now. You can get entered up on horseshowtracker.com, and again, entries are due on the 27th. Definitely get your stalls in. As you can imagine, that will be a busy thing again this year. So
For sure.
Can I ask you, who's on your committee that thinks of all these things, and how do you guys raise so much money and provide such a great show for people?
I don't know, Tim. We're all trying. I think we're all after it. Everybody on our committee, my whole board of directors is so gung ho and easy to get along with. We don't.
They're calling you.
When I'm calling you, say,
Yeah,
don't
one's
forget
calling you,
forget
right?
to mention me.
Good cohesive group, and everybody's after it. And we're hustling, and people see that, and then they want to get behind it.
Right.
I think.
Right. I mean, it's just
I'm working, and I want it good for Brad, and I want it good for all the guys he's showing with, and
You bet.
and people know that, and the sponsors realize that, and they get behind it, Tim. They really
Right.
do.
Right.
It's a lot
Well,
of fun. We have a ball with it.
I just love how you don't just take for granted. Obviously, it's a great place to go and show. It's one that I've never wanted to miss since the first time I went, because I just love showing there. But you're not just resting on that. You're adding more to that mystique or that prestige of coming out there. You know, I always say it's one of my favorite places to go and eat, you know, because there's so many great restaurants there, but you're outside, you're open air. And in this climate that we have, that's always, you know, with the COVID deal, that's always a bonus, right? And then with the time of year that it is right now, it's a great time of year to be going out there. You're hitting on all cylinders is what I kind of see, you know? And, you know, tell us about, was that before the show we talked about, you are the top show in 2020, right? Since Congress was
be in 2020. I haven't seen it announced. You know, Congress didn't get to go.
right.
They're usually number one show. Sun Circuit's the number two as far as a horse show because they have one show number. We have 8 show numbers to divide it up.
Gotcha.
You know, we did over 30,000 total entries in 10 days. That's a lot of entries.
Yeah.
And AQHA entries was around 22,000, something like that. Kind of ridiculously large numbers, but between the NRHA, NSBA, and RCHA, and the AQHA numbers, you know, there's just a lot going on. But, you know, I think you kind of mentioned that, Brad. One is we do try to get you done where you can go out and enjoy this.
Absolutely right.
We really do. I know you got to hustle and run around there, and there's a lot going on during the day. But I think one of my favorite parts of that show is it's one of the few shows where you can have the cow horses, the reiners, the ranch riders, the hunters, the pleasure, the huntsy, all those people can be on that showgrounds at the same time,
right.
compete every day, and they don't have to interfere with each other. You don't have a reiner running through your pleasure pen, warming up and things like that. You can segregate it, but they're all there, and it creates such an energy.
Yes.
A lot of those guys are my old friends. I'm sure you got friends, and you don't get to see them at a lot of horse shows. And here, you get to see everybody before it's over. And it's really a cohesive group, but I think that's a lot of the fun of this.
Yes, you're right. You're 100% right.
You know,
I've actually seen Tim run into a lot of his old California buddies.
Right. You know, well, it started with Bobby Avila over there, right? That's how we got him on the show, and it moved to Andre, and it moved to Matt, and to see those guys out there, that's their territory, and it was so cool to it's whenever I go to Arizona and even Vegas too, it's homecoming for me because I don't see my West Coast friends very often more. So it's super cool. And when I see my cow horse people, it's even funner. Tokyo, you still doing that? You still doing the trail? I go, yeah. It's like 40 years I've done it. And then one more for me was the history behind Arizona, you know, the Sun Circuit, man, I'm counting. I don't even know how many years I've drawn patterns for that show, but I want to think like the 80s or 90s or something like that. It was right after Blue Ribbon because I'd done Blue Ribbon, then I went to Sun Circuit, and just to remember how it started when I was first there, and how the office has grown, how the facility has grown, how the horse show has grown. And it's one of those journeys again where you get to watch that show grow, and you were part of it, and you got to go with it, and what a I don't know what to call it, extravaganza.
I mean, that's a good word for it for sure. I mean, like Doug said, you everybody meshes so well there.
Right.
You know.
Sidebar. How about you when you brought your little kids that first year to Sun Circuit and we were on America's Horse?
Yeah, that's right. Back when ESPN or America's Horse was on ESPN.
His kids and I were on it because I was doing a clinic there at Arizona and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was
like many moons ago.
Early 2000s, yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's got it, and that's what I said. I haven't missed one since a couple years before. I think
it's a hard
98,
show.
I think, was the first year I went, and I haven't missed one since. It's just that it's a spectacle, and again, you guys don't ever just settle. You're just kind of always pushing for more. How many years have you been running it, Doug?
I started in 2011, Brad.
2000. So you're coming up on your 10-year anniversary.
Yeah.
Wow.
The show, Tim brought that up, and I mean, you probably remember it years and years ago, Tim. I mean, it's 48th.
Yeah, the 48th. I saw that.
From having the 50th show, you know, and it started on a little arena. McCormick Ranch, I believe, was the first one.
No kidding.
Some of you guys, subdivision down there now. You drive down.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure they told me the first one was down there at McCormick Ranch, And then I think it moved up there to Bell Road and went to Tucson for a couple of years. And then once it settled in at Westworld, it's been there ever since. But, you know, a few years back, we did an old timers reunion. I don't know, Tim, if you got in on that or not. It was a party one night. I tell you what, that was a hoot to see some.
I'll bet it sounds like a
well,
hoot.
back in those days when you guys had that one big party, right? And they would all dress up and do acts, right? All the Arizona guys would do acts back. One didn't Slack break his leg or something like that when they were doing YMCA or something?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
John Slack?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, that's when we all, you know, it was dude, I remember dressing up as girls and we did the calendar, right? I mean, that was like 202 or something like that. We've done some weird shit over there. Sorry, did some weird stuff over there. But what I mean, like I said, I think just watching the show grow. I mean, like when knowing when back in the day we did trail and then we did raining and then trail was behind it because Gretchen came out to my arena after she had done raining. And it was like dark and it was like monsoony and she cut my pattern in half. Like she took out all my wood, right? And I didn't even know her back then, right? And she said, "You're going to go with me on this, okay?" I said, "Fine, whatever you want." But historical for sure.
That's why we have new rules in the rule book.
Are we time out?
Yeah. Let's do that. Why don't we take a quick little break, Doug? We'll catch our breath because there's already been a lot of information. I know you still got a lot to come. Let's take a quick little commercial break, and we'll be right back, everybody. Again, while you're waiting, if you haven't shared it, share it now because anybody that hasn't got to catch the first part, they'll get to watch this. They everything people need to know for sure.
About the second
we'll be right
too.
back, everybody. Hold tight.
Just about ready to get underway. Our next exhibitor is at the gate.
They're trying to prove that they belong
They
here.
really have their eyes set on that podium, but this pair just hasn't been consistent.
Championship titles are elusive.
This is a difficult field.
It all comes down to this. Here we go.
When years of work come to seconds of action, give yourself every edge. Get rebound technology for faster muscle recovery with ProForce from Nutrina.
If you're looking for a smarter way to ship, look to Unishippers. We've been helping small to medium-sized businesses cut their shipping costs for more than 30 years. You'll get significant savings with UPS and more than 65 LTL freight carriers by leveraging the group buying power of our 90,000 plus customers. Unishippers is a one-stop shop for reliable shipping, significant savings, exceptional personal service, and easy online logistics management. Let Unishippers deliver for you. Call Mark and his team today.
Here at Rod Patrick, we take the fit process very, very seriously because we know the importance in your performance on how you're fit. So come in, let's give you the opportunity. Tell me what you're experiencing. Tell me what your challenges are. And I know together we're going to find the right answer, and you're going to be happier than you've ever been with your boots. Come see me, and thank you.
All right. Here we are back at the Keeping It Real show. Tim Kimura, Brad Jewett, Doug Hulse.
Come on in.
Doug, already a ton of information, ton of prizes, tons of cash given away that you've talked about through the horsemanship, the trail, the pleasure classes. But I still think there's some more there to touch on, is there not?
Yeah, there's a little more, Brad.
Oh, yeah, we touched on the ranch riding and the reining. And
you guys are touching everything tonight.
Hey, before we touch on how you win that truck and, a piece of that $50,000, I want to tell everybody, go on suncircuit.com and go through the awards. I always get so disappointed, and I was guilty of it when I showed too, is I wouldn't go on and read what all awards there, but there are so many awards, and every time I get to the show, somebody will say, I didn't even know I was eligible for that.
Right.
Like the high point in the horsemanship, the showmanship, pleasure, and the halt. There's a Bob's Custom Saddles came in and sponsored a level 1 high point, level 2, and a level 3. So there's 3 more saddles people can win right there. On top of all the other circuit champion saddles, I think we got like 39 saddles or something we're going to award. But don't miss out on it because you didn't read it. We try not to make it a real technical where you got to show in every class to qualify.
Right.
But, you got to be in the classes to get the points to qualify. We try to make it as easy as we can to follow. All the high points are broke up where the reining and ranch riding and all those have their own divisions of, we call it best of show, but then the rail and trail and western riding in that group, those all-around horses, they got a set of awards too, and those are all Rod Patrick Off-Street boots, all the way through there. So go on suncircuit.com and be sure to read so you know what you might be eligible for when you get there.
You are not lying. My youth are usually the ones that read through that for me, and they help me out so much on that. One of them's already got their eye on that Bob saddle, so they want to win the horsemanship saddle, but they also want to win that high point series. What are you calling that again? Where you do the pleasure, the horsemanship, showmanship, and
a level 2 and a level 3 high point, and that's a non-pro high point. So
non-pro.
A select amateur youth could win it. Whoever gets the most points in those out of the, as a level 1 or a level 2 or a level 3. So there's 3 saddles there.
Gotcha.
But that pits a few different groups against each other, but those are all competitive classes. It should be pretty balanced. Everybody should have a pretty fair chance to get at that.
You bet.
So, you might have to jump in the pleasure and make sure you go down and do the halter, but man, for a Bob saddle, and their retail value on that, so about a $5,000 saddle they're giving away right there.
Right.
5,200 like that, I believe. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
There's a lot of awards there. Just be sure you read through them and pay a little bit of attention, because sometimes it doesn't take a little effort, an extra class or two entering up, then you might go home with something. Really
Heck yeah.
nice.
I mean, it sounds like there's going to be a lot of people going on.
And then still, did we say Hunter Derby still is there?
Hunter Derby, 5,000 at the Open Hunter Derby. Give a saddle away in the non-pro Derby. A whole set of awards there.
I saw
nice deal. Greenway saddle.
I saw Laney came in here to the show, so it's good timing of when you mentioned that.
Yep, there you go. I'm paying attention here. So, can I ask you another one? This is for me. How about vendors? Can you tell me a little bit about your vendors there? Because I mean, when I was at Fall Classic, or I was
Fall Championship.
Fall Championship, there was like Conan and I got to go around the vendors, and him and I were filming, and I never get to see the vendors very much, right? And there was just tons of vendors in the domes and stuff like that. How do you feel like this year it's going to be? Is it just double, more?
Yeah, we've been selling out in the vendor category. It's become a funner and funner deal each year. The past few years, we're getting such a good turnout. They're all happy with their sales and what's going on too. This year, we have so many vendors. We line both the north and south sides of the Equine Chronicle arena, the Wendell, the big outdoor arena there. We've got vendors all the way around there, which I'm really excited about. I'd always hoped we kind of get to that level, but I think it's going to give even more prestige to where you win something in that arena. Everybody likes showing in that big old outdoor arena, but you win something in there and it's going to give it a lot of feel. So I'm really excited that those vendors wanted to go out there. With COVID, we thought it was a really good decision too, and encourage people. But there's going to be a lot of presentation around that arena, a lot of feel. In this North Hall, we did the arena setup in there like we did at the fall show, where you have 2 arenas and then a warm-up arena that runs east and west. Right. So it's going to be the biggest arena setup we ever put in there. And then that left us about 62 feet where we run 3 rows of vendors there, and that's all sold out too. So, if you want to do some good shopping, it'll be there. It should add a really, really good environment and a good feel all the way across there. So excited about our vendors this year and how it's going to feel to be in the Equine Chronicle arena. So.
Well, I was telling Brad during the break too. I mean, besides Vegas and Arizona, 2 shows I think are a destination where there's something to do for their spouses and their children and stuff, or people that might not be into the horses, right? There's shopping, there's places to eat.
Golf,
right? So, I mean, that's a big advantage for going to Sun Circuit. That's the same thing as Vegas here, where there's shows, not so much shows, but there's stuff to do here in Vegas. So, I mean, your 2 shows, I'm going to say combined, are great advantage of people to come.
Yeah, no doubt.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that March weather's been something, huh?
Oh my gosh!
Seeing everybody out there in their shorts.
Yeah, I was just gonna make a joke. Yeah, I looked at the weather, and the weather looks like it's gonna be awesome. Because I mean, you've had these days. When did you move it? Was it last year? Was the first time you'd moved it into February?
Third year, Brad.
This is your 3rd year. Okay, I didn't want to overspeak there. That's what I thought, and both years have just been picture perfect weather, because it's my favorite, where you get to wear a hoodie in the morning and then a shirt in the afternoon. You're comfortable in your show shirt and your cowboy hat. It's just, I don't know. I just love Scottsdale. I've said it before. If I didn't love where I am, that's my second favorite place. I would move to Scottsdale for sure. I love Scottsdale.
I think again it goes back to.
Horse business has been good for Arizona.
You bet.
I've been you get some more tractors moving into the area here, winter in here, and things like that. So
for sure,
pretty cool deal.
When you talk about us all being together, it's how the World Show used to be. Actually, I'm going to say it that way. But I mean, like the cow horse guys would come watch the trail.
Yeah.
Back in the day. Okay, back in the day, they would come watch. What are you doing, trail man? I'm going to come watch the senior finals. I mean, so all the Rainer guys are sitting in their little barn right there, right? And there's like the youth trail that goes in that arena in front of them. They kind of watch and they kind of peek around. They kind of look around a little bit of us doing our thing. Yeah. I think that's cool. And then we can go watch the Rams. We go walk over there and watch them.
Hey, I know one thing I was going to ask you. What about your lead line? Are you doing a lead line again this year?
Yeah, no lead line. Hey, you know what? The other thing we didn't bring up, Brad, is we had such a great turnout in the 10 and under walk.
Yes. Well, that was where I was going next. Yes.
We put those all the way through. There's all the way across the divisions, pleasure, ranch ride and trail, whatever. We've got walk trot now, 10 and under, and then we've got an 11 and under local class all the way through there. So don't leave your kids home. They're all learning online. You can bring your computer along and link up there.
Yeah.
But got 10 and under and 11 and under all the way through.
Well, it was, hey, Bud Lion, make sure you go watch the first half of the show. I saw you just got on here. Go watch the first half of the show and see what's coming up in the ranch horse and ranch riding and ranch trail and all that. Anyway, because your lead line last year, I remember, it was, I don't know, there was like 30 some people in the lead line. I was like, are you kidding me? It was a monster. It's the biggest lead line class I'd ever seen. I mean, you got Corey Cushing and his kids, and like ropers and pleasure people, and from all different walks of life. If nothing else, that lead line class was the epitome of the Sun Circuit. You know, where there was more people standing around that arena, because my stalls were right near that arena. There were more people standing around that arena. It was so awesome to see, and to see those kids just eating it up. I mean, just all these people were watching them to go show.
Everyone's taking their pictures.
Yeah,
right?
lead line was awesome. It was awesome.
There's a funny story that goes with that. You know, we got Jeter out there that manages those cattle arenas, and I had sent him, for some reason, he was there with the girls at the awards booth, and there were so many kids in that class, we didn't have enough awards to go around.
No kidding.
I won an award. Jeter's like, he's having a cow. I was like, Jeter, you just got to go down there and find some dad, find Corey or somebody and tell them that, we're going to bring their kids something here in a little bit. It's like, are you kidding me? He starts walking out with a saddle. He says, I'm giving that kid a saddle. And
Oh.
it's like, no, you're not.
That is a good story.
Or drive one of the vendors out of a Breyer horse or something, but oh my God, he was never so scared in his life that he'd have to go down there and tell some kid he wasn't going to have.
I could imagine the fear of looking at a kid and go, sorry, we'll send your award to you.
I don't want to mail one of those kids their award.
Oh.
Oh boy. So that was a near catastrophe at Sun Circuit last year.
That's
But,
funny.
like overall, just the history, right? I mean, now that's the next group of young kids growing to be. That's the next branch, right?
Yeah.
Plus, I'm just saying, it's a funny show. I mean, I see a lot older people there that I've worked with for many of years, right? Whether they're almost retiring or not, but just the gamut of young to new, old to new, and you see the upcoming ones. You see the ones that have done it for years and years and years, whether it be the trail, the reining, the horsemanship, coaching. I don't know. It just brings us all together. I mean, I really appreciate that part of it.
We need more of that than ever right now.
Right now,
I mean,
no doubt,
it's
no doubt.
stuff to keep the Keeping It Real shows about that. Sun Circuits about really all of our horse shows. It's so good to see just the
camaraderie.
Yeah, the camaraderie for sure, but just how everybody's just pulled together through all this. Doug, where are we going next? What's our next big subject?
Let me throw this in, and then we're going to go to the big subject. But
Okay.
we're working on a Super Select Award. Haven't ironed out the details for the 70 and over competitors, but that's going to be coming out before the horse show yet. We're really, we want to reward them. And then, like I said, I'm really excited about the 10 and under and 11 and under. That was so much fun. If you guys got to watch any of those classes at the Arizona Fall Championship last year, they had a great turnout.
You
Those
bet.
Kids were so competitive. So for the young and old alike, we're doing a lot. And as Brad said, we try to make it a great environment for everybody.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be fun to show these horses, and that's what we're about.
Well, you give
That's our goal.
You
We
give
want-
everybody an opportunity because you're at a facility that allows that. You can look at anywhere and you can see 3 arenas at least anywhere that you're at pretty much on that facility. So when you see a group gathering, it kind of makes you want to go, what's going on? And I know that's exactly what happened. Just speaking about the lead line, but when you have your big pleasure shows, we had the Ninja Warrior deal last year, all those things that you just have. The facility is such an asset, to be able to bring people together, so you maximize the potential for all of that. Where was I just? Oh, in Tampa. Remember how big the walk trot stuff was there? I mean, so I envision your walk trot classes this year to be 20,
number. It's gonna
30.
take up some
Yeah,
time.
because
It's
they
good.
had 20 some in their
It's
walk
good.
trot classes there
Take up
in
some
Tampa.
time.
I can only imagine yours is going to be huge.
That's good though.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
When we talk about fun, I tell you what, the pleasure horse guys, they kind of came up with this next idea, Brad. They hit me up on it, and I was all about it. I thought
Sweet.
it was the best fit for Sun Circuit. So we got together, pleasure horse guys, myself. We all sat and talked. We talked with Mr. Larry Roberts there at Western Hauler, and what we're going to do is we're going to give everybody the opportunity to win a 2021 one-ton dually Crew cab, Chevrolet, LTZ, Western hauler. I mean, this thing's going to be decked out. Larry's going to do his number on it. It's going to be special. But here's how it's going to happen, though. You're going to draw from a jar, and you'll draw a number from 1 to 500. All right? If you draw a 1, it costs you $1 to get in. If you draw 500, it costs you $500 to get in. If you draw $100, 100, it costs you $100 to get in. But that's going to give you the chance to win that truck. After we pay for the truck, we're going to give everybody about $4,500 to help pay for their tax, title, and license, because I don't want anybody, gosh, I had to pay the tax on the truck after we're going to give them $4,500. We like to do it the right way.
Dang, that's generous right there.
And then we're going to take the rest of that money, everything, 100% of that money that's remaining after we kind of pay those administration fees, pay for the truck and all that. We're going to put it in a little Western Pleasure competition. So
here we go.
Let me tell you how the pleasure competition works. There's going to be 50,000 in there is what we think that purse is going to be. We're going to pay 15 places. But here's how you get in it. You've got to, on Thursday, March 4th, if you make the top 8, you or your horse make the top 8 in any of the level 1 open, level 2 junior, level 3 junior, level 2 senior, level 3 senior, you or your horse, or you and your horse make the top 8, that makes you eligible for that purse. But to make sure everybody has a fair chance, then we're going to take all the riders' names that were in there and all the horses' names that made this top 8, put them all in a jar, and we're going to draw out a rider and a horse. So you don't get to show your horse. You have to show one of them.
No way.
So everybody's got a chance at winning this.
Nice.
If you draw your own horse and redraw, you are not riding your own horse. I haven't heard about how long we're going to give you for a warm-up. There may not be any warm-up for all I know.
There you go.
We're riding your horse. If we do have more horses than we do riders, which is highly likely, then another Sun Circuit exhibitor, like maybe Brad Jewett, he's not exhibiting, so he can't do it. But Brad Jewett or somebody can be selected to come up and show that other horse. And then we're going to do that Saturday night, last thing after all the classes that day. The pleasure runs on the last Saturday of the horse show. We're going to draw for the truck then. It should be a really fun night. And we'll have that little competition, and there's going to be $50,000, and I'm going to say everybody's got a stab at it.
Well, it sounds like it. When you're kind of doing a little horse swap there, rider swap, however you want to call it, that definitely, to me, you want to talk about spectator fun. I think I think your timing of it is right. Being that last Saturday, you've got your youth exhibitors there, you got everybody there. I think it's going to be a huge hit for sure. Wow, how cool!
It should be a lot of fun, and it sure would be nice to drive home with that nice new Western hauler too, huh?
Heck yeah! So explain to me on the tickets, the $1 ticket and the $500 ticket. You just get one ticket.
You can draw as many tickets as you want. I was thinking if I drew a 1 and a 5, I'd probably keep drawing until I got to that 500 or something. But that number draw out? That's what you got to pay into the pot to get in for your chance to win in the truck. And then again, the rest are all going to go to the fun class too. So we're not keeping anything.
So my question, I guess maybe I didn't explain it right. So does the $500 ticket worth more in the drawing than the $1 ticket?
It's just your luck. No.
Okay.
Everybody, if you buy, it costs you $500 to get in, then you were the unlucky guy. But
okay,
you get one chance at winning the truck. But
gotcha.
The most you can spend on trying to win that truck, and you're going to have a 1 in 500 chance of winning that truck. What are you talking? $100,000 truck?
Yeah, exactly. That's what. That's where
it's going to cost you $500 to get in. And you got a 1 in 500 chance of winning.
Well, shoot, yeah. My mind is going. If you need a new truck, buy all the tickets.
You buy tickets, that's for sure.
It's going to be cheaper than going to buy $100,000 truck.
So
That's awesome. Do you have a name that you're calling this?
Yeah, the Western Hauler, Western Pleasure Truck Bonanza.
Western Hauler, Western Pleasure Truck Bonanza. I like it.
Wow.
Yeah. And Tom Forehand's going to be there at the horse show. He's selling the tickets for us.
Oh, nice.
So, I'm going to guess these things will sell out pretty quick.
Yeah.
He's going to bring out the truck. We'll have it on display there. And, and if you don't win that one, he'll be there to sell you another one.
Awesome. Well, Western Hauler, I can't say thank you enough. Thank you enough, Larry, for doing this, because it is going to be an extravaganza or bonanza, no doubt. Absolutely. Great thinking, great minds. Sounds like you got to come up with this. So it's the top 2 of which classes again are eligible?
Top 8.
Top
There'll
8.
be a bunch of horses and riders eligible.
Okay.
Top 8 of the level 1 open, level 2 junior, level 3 junior, level 2 senior, level 3 senior.
Okay. So five of the open pleasure classes.
For this deal. So
Gotcha.
a bunch of horses, and we'll have a whole group of riders up there before it's done, and I'm sure that there'll be more. We'll have to go out to the crowd and get a few riders drawn up too.
I have an interesting question. Do you how they split the money?
We're going to pay 15 places. Like I said, it's estimated to be about $50,000. And then we'll just go by a standard payout, like in the NSBA book or something like that. So,
And it doesn't matter to you whether
grab 50% to the rider and 50% to the owner.
That's where I was going with it. I was like, okay, who gets the money is the rider, because it's kind of a catch rider, right? So that was my question is, who does do they split it as they like, or no, 50% to the rider, 50% to the horse? Okay. That was my question. Awesome.
Those trainers, if they've got to go
Amazing.
get somebody to help them out, they'll probably have to negotiate a little deal. But that could be some fun horse trading going on there too. So,
I can see this spawning out to other events eventually.
I see it in my event.
yeah,
I can
would
see
be
it
fun.
totally in your event.
I see it in my event.
Like we could do a lot of stuff and have a lot of fun with
You
this.
bet. You bet.
Excellent.
I think I remember the last time I was at one of these events, and we had to draw trail horses and ride, and Tim Camara was there, and I think he smoked us all. I think that horse and Curtis Reynolds. You remember that?
That was at the Texas Classic.
Yeah.
Texas Classic, maybe?
Yeah.
The Texas Classic.
Yes,
You remember that?
I do. Yeah, he had the little bay horse.
Bay horse.
Yeah, I remember that.
Celebrity riding.
Yeah.
Celebrity riding.
That was fun.
Tim drew him, and he smoked us all.
He did. That's
So-
right.
It's all good.
I think he was passing the rest of us drinks, and he was keeping sober. if I remember.
Now that could be true. That's true.
Sounds like a Camara trick
Well, we did have a crown bottle there.
Like a career, huh?
for sure. For sure. Awesome, Doug. I don't want to cut you off, but is there anything else? What else you got for us, Tim? You got any other questions
no,
that
I'm good.
come
I'm
popping
good.
up in your
No.
head?
I'm thinking about my trail thing now, right? That's the future.
Yeah.
Next.
So you're still having all. Go ahead.
Extra course, by the way. So
What do you say?
What? I'm sorry. Repeat that.
tell Tim we need to make sure we get a couple extra courses for that maiden trail and the 4 to 5-year-old. So
There you go.
Memo to Tim.
Memo to Tim. Memo to Man of Trail.
I'll share this to myself and
I've been so busy with all this other stuff. I don't know if I got the real
Hey,
stuff.
we
ready to
have it
go.
on camera. We have it on camera. You're good.
I'm in.
You're good.
I'm in.
So
Hey, thanks for having me on, guys. It's great. Looking forward to it. Entries due on the 27th. Good luck there at the Silver Dollar. Have fun. Enjoy Vegas.
appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming on. And you need anything else, holler back at us. We'll get you on another time if we need to.
Yeah, we need to talk about the rankings pretty soon. That should be out here very, very soon. We're
Perfect.
compiling now, and then we'll have all those, the ranked exhibitors, and then who's eligible for the national championship. So,
Perfect. Yeah, that was the other question that was in the back of my mind, but we can't answer that yet. So okay, sounds good. Well, when you know that, shoot me a text and we'll come on and do it again.
all right, sounds good. Thanks, guys.
All right,
Okay,
man.
thanks.
Have a good night,
Thanks,
Doug.
Douglas.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Wow. What? Hey, that was freaking exciting, dude. I mean, I kind of got goosebumps right now. Like, that's that's going to be an amazing show for sure.
Sounds like a little work.
Well, and
all
I mean,
good.
my
It's all
plan
right.
was to be home all of February to gear up for it. So guess what we're doing, baby?
I get it.
We're gearing up.
I get it.
Gearing up. Here we go. All right, everybody. We will see you guys next Monday.
Yeah.
Maybe earlier because we are at a horse show. We are at the Silver Dollar Circuit. We're not just at a horse show. We're here at the Silver Dollar Circuit.
So
and
keep
so we
track.
may just find us a guest out here to be able to come on this show. And we may do a special show Saturday, Sunday. Who knows?
Wait. How about the Are we going live? Not live, but are we doing the trail fraternities or the 2 trail classes that night? Are we
Well, I'm showing in the 4 and 5 year old.
Jeez. Okay, got. How about the other one? Can we commentate that one?
Yes, we can commentate that because I don't have anything in the level 1, level 2.
Okay, so there's that one class I want to commentate a little bit.
Sweet, that'd be
put it
awesome
on our show, right?
Yeah, and then I think Janet asked us to
And
do
we do
that,
it-
so
and do
yeah,
it
that'd
live-
be
do it live,
fantastic.
right?
So stay tuned. Shoot, we'll put that if we can. If she'll let us, we'll run it. We'll run it live here
Yeah.
and do it. That'd be
So-
awesome. So yep,
Okay.
stay tuned to the Keeping It Real show. We won't let you down. Be safe.